सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्णः परमात्मने नमः। ॐ सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्त गोचरन्तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। You are in which shloka? I think we completed Pranamaya Kosha, correct?
Yeah, we were reviewing Jnanendriyani cha manascha manomayah syat.
Correct. Jnanendriyani cha manascha manomaya syat kosho mamahamiti वस्तु विकल्प हेतु संज्ञादि भेद कलना कलितो वलीयान तत्पूर्वकोशम अभिपूरय विजृंभते यः। 167. Jnanendriyani. So we saw Annamaya Kosha and Pranamaya Kosha, and then Acharya very clearly clarified and proved that this particular Pranamaya Kosha also has got variation and hence cannot be the Atma. Okay, and then as the way Upanishad says, he goes to the next Kosha considering that to be the Atma. Let us see how it is. So Jnanendriyani manascha manomaya syat. Jnanendriya manaha militva yo bhavati sa manomayah koshaha, as per Tattvabodha. Same thing. Jnanendriyani cha manaha manomayah syat. So we saw the table BMI, OET and PFT, where mind feels the environment. Correct? So who gives the input to the mind? The Jnanendriyas will give. So Jnanendriyas just give an input. That input is processed by the mind, and that is a Manomaya Kosha. So the mind is not the Manomaya Kosha, thoughts are not the Manomaya Kosha, the Indriyas giving the inputs are not the Manomaya Kosha. The Indriyas input going inside which are processed. And how is the process happening? With reference to the knowledge and the experience, the feeling is understood. Okay, please understand that. If that's a first time experience, the mind will not be able to even process it. See small children, when the small children, there is no mind processing it. Infants, the mind cannot process it. It only has inputs. Only when few times such a experience happens and there is an impression in the mind that this type of experience has got this feeling. Okay, even the child to understand the warmth of the mother is because of the sahavasa of the child being with the mother for such a long time. The child gets an input which is registered in the child, and that input becomes the manomaya kosha. That is why the child understands whenever such a feeling is there, it is the mother. Are you able to get that? So the indriyas only bring the senses. The mind receives the senses in the form of thoughts. Then there is a process happening in that mind. And that process which happens, because it now takes the reference from the knowledge, from the experience, and from your vasanas of what you like and dislike. Are you able to get that? All this together, the mind gives an output of feeling of that environment. Correct? So, with a small example, we will try to understand this. I told this example many a times. Again, I am repeating it. Whenever you are walking on the road, and imagine that you are not wearing any shoe or anything. It is just a barefoot you are walking, and you are walking in India. Okay, because these things you will see only in India. So now the eye spots at a distance a cigarette with a flame, a live cigarette which has fallen on the road. The eye spot it, and when you are walking, every time the eye is getting a signal of there is something which is like a stick or a long thing with something red and some fumes coming out of it, and this information is now brought from the eye to the mind. The mind refers to the intellect to find out from the memory what all it could be. Right? Just imagine for a moment, just imagine it is just a wooden piece like this with a red tip. Immediately the memory will say, no, this is not, nothing is to worry, you can go and kick it, no problem. But the moment you know that it is a live fire splinter there, as you go close, the mind is now gauging the distance between you and that. And every step this input is being processed in the mind. So now you have come close, you have come closer, you have come closer, and when you come very close to it, the intellect also gives that do not place your leg on it or you will hurt yourself. So immediately you will go above it, you will just cross over it, or you will go from the side of it, but you will never put your leg on it. Now imagine if it is going to be a child who doesn't know anything about it. It looks, especially you see children, when they see a lighted lamp, they get attracted to it and they go and try to catch the fire. Once they get the chatka, then they will never go. Okay, so exactly like this, you have that mind processes the environment and tells you very clearly what it is. Clear? Now, at the same time, I give another situation of the same thing. Imagine you are walking like this after a 10th peg. Will your eyes be able to see the splinter? Yes. Will your mind be able to process and gauge the environment? No. Because the mind is in a drunk state. And because the mind is in a drunk state, it is unable to process that environment clearly and give inputs to the intellect. So the intellect will, if the input is wrong, the output will be wrong. The intellect will process something and some garbage will come out, which the mind will not understand also, because it is not in the state of understanding. And then there are chances that you will hurt yourself, and that is why you see many people fallen into the Gatari Amavasya. You will see all of them there. Why? Because they do not even know that there is no ground there. Okay, the mind has not been able to process. The eyes have been able to see it, but the mind have never been able to process. And they end up there, and afterwards, once they come back to senses, they say, oh my God, what has happened? And they have hurt themselves. Okay, so this is what happens in this processing. So now look at it. Jnanendriyani cha manascha manomaya syat. What does this kosha do? This kosha very clearly, now this kosha forms only with the indriyas and the processing of the mind, the thoughts together. When the process happens, this is the kosha. Okay, so by default or by nature, you will have a particular mental makeup. So the first time when you meet someone, you are not predictable. But couple of times you meet the same person, then that person becomes a bit predictable. Why? Every input, you know this is the probability of the output coming. What happened? Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. Two are waiting there. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry about that. I didn't see. Okay, so every time there is an, what I was saying, what was the link? I was coming to a point, missed it. Yeah, so when you know a person, that person becomes predictable. Why is it predictable? Because your vasanas and manomaya kosha has mapped that other person's manomaya kosha. And based on your vasanas, you have clearly either accepted or rejected or partially accepted or situationally accepted or principally accepted, whichever way you want you put it. But if this mapping is not there, you will not be. Otherwise, what happens is, many a times if you do not know the person, just by the appearance, the mind will form an image which you sit with. And later on, you realize that, oh my God, this is such a wrong image. I was thinking the person to be like this because he looks so stern, but he is so nice. Now, this is also forming an image and processing by the mind because it doesn't have any input of the mind of the other person. So, just by appearances, there is a cognition between such an appearance and this behavior. This appearance and this mind map, this behavior. So, like that, we connect it unknowingly, and this happens in a fraction of a second. There is an immense logic which is happening internally, but it is happening so fast that you are unable to comprehend that. And a classic example of that is love in first sight. How does that happen? Because it is so fast mapped in, and it has already formed that opinion which is very strong. And if it is coming from both the sides, it's very clear that time. So this mind gets that character of that person, the mind map of that person is already now on very clearly, and that is in your area of like. If it was dislike, this love at first sight would never have happened. Are you able to get it? Now, we are not saying whether this input, how valid it is, how correct it is, how accurate it is. We are not talking about that. But this process happens, and it is always happening. Even now when I am talking in the class, You are mapping what is being told, what your ears are saying, my hand, my eyes, my way of telling, and all that. You are mapping it, and then that's forming a particular image in your mind, and that is this Manomaya Kosha. So you have a personality, a mental personality, which is called your Manomaya Kosha, which normally, once anyone knows, you become predictable. That is why when someone who is calm and quite suddenly gets angry, everyone will be astonished. Oh, this person is such a calm person. How did he get so angry? Why? He has never expressed that anger any time in any situation, and hence it becomes a big question mark. Okay. So, right from situation to a environment, multiple environments, and your behavior to the environment, that's where gives a mapping of your Manomaya Kosha, which is directly connected to your likes and dislikes. Okay, you are not bothered about others' likes and dislikes, huh? Even if someone very close to you, you want to value their likes and dislikes, it is because you like valuing their likes and dislikes. You are valuing your own likes. If that was not the case, you would never have valued their likes and dislikes. Are you able to get this? Am I clear? Anyway, I actually cannot see both of you all. It is in between. So I really do not know whether you all understood or not. At least one person needs to be visible to me.
Yes.
Can
Yeah.
you see us, Guruji? Yes.
We are on camera.
Yeah, you are on camera, but you both are on off side of the camera, and in between where nothing is there, that is visible to me. One person at least, yeah. Or move the camera a little away, that's also okay. Anyways, just want some response, some feedback. Okay, a teacher wants that at least. तो मालूम तो पड़े कि वह एक स्टूडेंट है इधर. चलो. Okay. Then this becomes the Manomaya Kosha. And when you take collective of all these impressions of Manomaya Kosha of everyone, you can make it generic of a very, very important aspect which actually manifests in this kosha. And that is Aham and Mama. That I actually manifests in the Manomaya kosha. Mama Aham iti vastu vikalpa hetu. Me and mine. This is a very, very important aspect happening in the Manomaya kosha. Are you getting it? Okay. When we say Aham and Mama here, this Ahankara and Mamakara are highly crystallized, which are talking about your personality. Here we are not referring to individuality called Ahankara. Aham, that I-ness. Hey, it's me. मैं है तो ऐसा ही रहेगा. I cannot tolerate this. I can't do this. All this Aham and Mama. Oh, this is mine. Don't come near it. All these things are purely coming from the Manomaya kosha. Okay, so Mamakara is surely Manomaya kosha. When this Ahankara becomes a very generic one, at an individuality level, that will come at Vijnanamaya kosha. Ahankara as a characteristic of my personality or my character is coming from Manomaya kosha. Ahankara as an individuality is coming from Vijnanamaya kosha. I am knowledgeable that I am a human being. I am knowledgeable that I am not an animal. Are you able to get that? That generic one, Samanya Ahankara, is coming at Vijnanamaya kosha. But Vishesha Ahankara, Vishesha Mamakara, or that crystallized Ahankara which extends to Mamakara, is at Manomaya kosha. Are you able to get this?
So like ego, Guruji, the ego that we
100%.
have.
Ego is what? My intense like and dislikes which are manifesting out. Yes, ego. I am not ready to compromise with any of this. That is ego. So where is it coming from? Manomaya kosha. Okay. So when he says aham manomayasya kosho mama aham iti vastu vikalpa hetu. What is vastu vikalpa hetu? Vastu vikalpa hetu is, that is the reason which causes so many different. Vastu vikalpa is, this is that is that, ye hai, ye wo hai, so many names, so many, all things are different. It cannot be the same now. Why? In each of this individual characteristic is now sitting. Right from Vastu. It starts with Vastu, it starts with people, it starts with living being, it starts with relationship, it starts with everything. So Vastu Vikalpa. Vikalpa is differentiation. Vastu Vikalpa Hetu, this is all different. I like this, I don't like this is mine, this is not mine. All this complexity and diversity is coming out of because of this Mama Aham. And which is the main thing which gets, is the signature of the Manomaya kosha. Are you able to get this? Clear? Okay. Then Sanjnadi Bheda Kalana Kalitaha. Okay. What is Sanjnadi Bheda? So now, if there are different, each has got a different identity. So differences in name, form, okay, and the faculty of creating. So various things now can get created. Okay. And these are the outcome of this process of Manomaya kosha. Vijnanamaya will not have all this, huh? Okay, Vijnanamaya is pure knowledge. That Manomaya is the one which pushes that I want to be with this, I want this, so this is there, I cannot accept this, I will accept this, ye chalta hai, I am ready to accept this, isko thoda main chhod sakta hu, isko nahi, this I will not compromise at all. All this, and then Vastu Vikalpaha, this is mine, that is yours, all that jitna bhi differentiation hai, complete Dvaita, Bheda, Vishwam, okay, is coming from Manomaya kosha. Now, there is one nice, I think it is, let me just check. See, Amrita Bindu Upanishad says that, correct. Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandhamokshayoho bandhaya vishayasaktam muktam nirvishayam smritam. Okay, so Vishaya, where does this Vishaya come? In Manas, an object. Then only all this environment, all this, see, although, just imagine, how do I tell you? Okay, let us imagine that a person is completely drugged, and that person, in front of that person, you are keeping an object. Will the eyes see it? Yes, the eyes will see it. But the mind will not process it as aham, mama, nothing it will process. Why? That faculty of processing is just not available. Are you able to get this? And hence, all this complete diversity, all this various, this world is filled with diversity, with so colorful, so many things. Everything is running in this Manomaya kosha. It is not in Vijnanamaya, it is running in Manomaya Kosha. Okay, and that is why he says, Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayohu. The mind is the reason behind bandhana or moksha. Bandhaya vishaya saktam. The person, if he has got attachment to any object, vishaya, asaktam, it is bandhana. Nirvishaya, muktam, nirvishayam smrutam. If there is no vishaya, then it is moksha. So where is this happening? Here. And exactly our EQ hence is more important than IQ. Please understand this. We always keep on telling that IQ should be high, IQ should be high. No. If your IQ needs to work efficiently, your EQ should be high. Yes.
So basically, mind is the reason for all the attachment, right? Guruji, in fact,
Everything.
the mind should, we have to really, but mind is where all the thoughts are there. So but that is where we have to get all the detachment, right? Like we have to, it's the mind that is almost like root of all the evil, feels like, as far as attachments go, as far as
Evil or good?
emotion. So when we say high EQ, what do we mean there?
What is high EQ? What is high EQ? You tell me.
To me, if I hear high EQ, it means like more emotions, highly, being sensitive.
No. A matured EQ, the emotional quotient, if it is high, which means that sadhana chatushtaya sampatti is full.
Okay.
Look at Arjuna, what happened to him in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. EQ was high or EQ was low? What was the problem to him? Was it an IQ problem or an EQ problem?
EQ problem. He was very, very emotionally attached to his guru.
So EQ was high or low? When I say IQ is high, means what? High intelligence.
Intelligent.
Correct? Okay. But with EQ, it will be the other way around. IQ, you are talking it as in a positive scale. High IQ means it is good. High, if you call it the other way around, high EQ means it is bad. Right? So EQ low means he is emotionally very down. High EQ means is a matured one, a stable one. Are you able to get that? Right?
Yeah.
And that is why the first chapter is called Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Vishadam, the mind was completely disturbed. Vishadam. And from that Vishada, Vishaya comes. Vishaya comes from Vish. Vish means poison. Any object, if it is more attached, is poisonous. That is why it's called Vishaya. Okay. And this EQ is very, very important for the IQ to work. You may be very intelligent, but if the EQ is not stable or good, then it will distort and not allow the IQ to work. The manas will start playing games with the buddhi. If heart is strong and the brain is weak, the intellect is weak, you have a problem. If intellect is very strong and no heart, heartless, then also you have a problem. Both have to go hand in hand. The heart and the intellect have to go hand in hand. The heart is Manomaya Kosha. Are you able to get that? So it needs to be there, it needs to be balanced. And what are we doing to balance it? Sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana. Where are all this working? In IQ, in the intellect, or it is working in the mind? Are you able to get this? So, to be prepared to get this jnanam, I am going to prepare the tool which is otherwise going to disturb and not allow this jnanam to go to the intellect. It will distort this knowledge. Is it clear? And for that, sadhana chatushtaya sampatti is there, mainly working on EQ. Chapter number 13, Bhagavad Gita. I think shloka number 7. Anyone has it? Anyone has that? What is the starting? Anyone has the Bhagavad Gita book? Let me remove it.
Ichha, dvesha, sukham, dukham.
After that. After that. Sangataschetana. Amanitvamadambhitvam ahimsa kshantirarjavam acharyopasanam shaucham sthairyamatma vinigraha. All virtues, values. Amanitvam. What is manitvam? I am the doer. Amanitvam. That is brushing that ego and bringing it down. Adambhitvam. Dambhitvam is what? Stubbornness. Adambhitvam. So these are all values and virtues we have to inculcate. Only then this jnanam will work. Amanitvamadam. There are 13 virtues which are told, or more than that. Amanitvamadambhitvam ahimsa kshanti arjavam acharyopasanam shaucham sthairyamatma vinigraha indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityujara. Correct, right? Anahankara evacha janma mrityujara vyadi dukkha doshanudarshanam. Correct?
Yes.
So, janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha dosha anudarshanam. Accepting all that. The moment you are.
Guruji, all this manas?
Huh?
Is this in the manas?
Of course, where is all that? Buddhi will just tell you this is right, this is wrong. Oh, simple. Buddhi will tell this is cancer. Cancer has an ability to kill. Who gets the fear? Buddhi gets the fear or Manas gets the fear? Who tells I have got cancer? General knowledge is what the Buddhi is giving now. Connecting to you yourself is what this Manas is doing now. Oh, I have got cancer. Over. Are you able to get that? Clear? So, this mind is the most important which we have to, and that is why all the sadhanas, they are called manasam karma upasana. Not buddhi karma. They are manasam karma. For buddhi, jnanam is there. For sadhanas are in mind. To culture this mind and make it appropriate for jnanam. To get that EQ in a good balance. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Second chapter, Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Dukkeshu anudvigramanaha sukeshu vigataspruhaha vitaraga bhaya krodha Stitadhir Muniruchyate. That question itself asks that how do I understand a person who is a jnani? The answer given by that is second chapter, I think 61st, shloka 60. Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha, 54th shloka. Samadhistasya keshava sthitadhi kim prabhasheta kimasita vrajeta kim. Sthita prajna and sthitadhi. Okay. So he says, this is the sthita prajna and sthitadhi are who are jnanis. How do I understand that? He says, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmani eva atmana tushtaha. Sthita prajnas tato uchyate. Okay, leave that. That is a. Then he says, Dukkheshu anudvignamanaha. Udvignamana is what? Disturbed mind. Anudvignamana is which is not disturbed. When there is dukkha. Sukheshu vigata sprigaha. If something is good, I don't jump that my head will hit the ceiling. I don't do that also. Vita raga bhaya krodaha. Raga bhaya krodaha. All the three are not impacting this person. That means a very, very high matured emotional quotient is there. Highly emotionally matured person never will get disturbed. Are you able to get that? And this is that Manomaya Kosha we are referring to. For us, even a small thing, even if we imagine it may not be true, we start getting so much of disturbances. That is the Manomaya Kosha. And it has such a lot of impact that once that gets disturbed, and if it is a regular activity of disturbing that, then that disturbance comes to the pranamaya, from pranamaya to annamaya, and that is called psychosomatic diseases. Coming from manomaya to annamaya, disturbing the pranamaya also. Are you able to get this? Because we are in kosha, we are connecting all this now. So, apart from just the theoretical, okay, this is Manomaya Kosha, we have to understand this, the main, so as to say the culprit or that gunda within us is this Manomaya, not the Vijnanamaya. Usko theek rakho, you will be healthy. Mentally, you have to be healthy. Everything else will be fit. Okay, right. So, coming back to this shloka, he says, Sanjnadibihi kalana kalito baliyan, so strong, baliyan. मतलब एक बार मन में आ गया तो I mean बुद्धि विधि एंड ऑल को जगह ही नहीं है. वो बोलते ना ये दादा है वो. Your buddhi many a times doesn't even get a chance to put its opinion. Huh? If you ask this question, who is this decider of this particular thing, anything, 99% of the time it will be the manas and not the buddhi. Okay. Even if the situation pushes you to accept it, that time also you will see that the buddhi will always keep winking and telling that from day one I was telling, but you were thinking that you were very smart to the manas, and now the manas has to kneel down in front of the buddhi and somehow accept it. And that time also the manas will say, I have been so gracious that I have accepted it. That is how that ego is working inside. Huh? We have to understand it very clearly that that's the place where everything is happening. So why, if you look at this, you will have a same question coming out in Anandamaya Kosha. Anandamaya Kosha and Manomaya Kosha look so similar that you will say, no, it is Manomaya Kosha. But when we come to Anandamaya Kosha, you will see the subtlety of that. The manifestation of that is all happening in the Manomaya Kosha directly. Because this likes and dislikes, your buddhi doesn't even participate in it. It doesn't have a choice. Unless a situation demands it to change, it doesn't have a choice. It will just say, I like it. अभी स्वीट पसंद है, इधर स्वीट रखा है, and तीखट है, there is spicy. You are a person who likes sweet. Nothing is going to stop you from eating that sweet, right? The buddhi is not going to apply any brain. But at the same time, if you have diabetes, then the buddhi will say, hey, you have got diabetes. Then that mind will say, जाने दो, एक आधा गोली ज़्यादा खा लूँगा आज, but ये वापस नहीं मिलेगा. Are you able to get this? So such a strong character this is. That is why the persons complete that full inward and outward, the character as well as personality, both are sitting in this Manomaya Kosha. Clear? Oh, it is a duplicate of you who is sitting inside. इतना समझ लो. तुम्हारा अंदर और एक जो बैठा है ना, जो सब बाहर चीज को, तुम्हारा बाहर का रिमोट कंट्रोल पूरा उसके पास है. Is it clear? Okay. Then says, tat purva kosham abhipuraya vijrumbhate yaha. Okay. Tat purva kosham. What is the purva kosham? The previous kosha. Which is that? Pranamaya kosha. Are you able to get?
Yes, Guruji. Pranamaya kosha, please.
Abhipurya. It pervades. Vijrumbhate, manifest. So, whatever is there in this Manomaya kosha, it has an ability to manifest completely into the Pranamaya kosha. समझ में आ रहा है? Because it is now powerful than the Pranamaya kosha. Prana will work by itself. But if the mind thinks other way, the prana also changes its path, its actions. Simple thing. If you have been told that there is no food today and you are hungry, what will the mind do? Get agitated. What is the outcome? It disturbs the pranamaya. Correct? And then directly you will see that you get acidity. Right? Because straight away the prana will start going and functioning at the annamaya, and if you want or you don't want, the gastric juices will be thrown out. Now the same thing, if you decide that, oh, tomorrow is Ekadashi and I am going to do Upvas, at the time of lunch, will that mind get disturbed? Will the prana get disturbed? Will you get acidity? Situation being the same that you don't get food, the mind decides how the pranamaya and annamaya has to work. So it has a pervasion ability all over the prana, because the samana prana, the generic prana will continue to work the way it is. But the Vishesha prana, which is completely directed by the mind, that has fully got the pervasion of the mind. And through the prana, because prana has got pervasion over anna, directly mana can go to the anna through the prana without even we knowing that prana is involved in it. Is it clear? Any doubts? Okay. So, see the whole meaning now. Jnanendriyani cha manaha cha manomayasya koshaha mama aham iti vastu vikalpa hetuhu संज्ञादि भेद कलना कलितः बलीयान तत् पूर्वकोशम इति प्राणमय कोशम अभिपूर्य विजृंभते यः. Is it clear now? Does it make sense? So he is very clearly saying what is manomaya kosha, how does it work, what are the direct offsprings or signatures or the outcome of this kosha, which is mama and aham. And directly, because there is a mama and aham coming, there are differentiation, all the diversity in this whole world is coming because of that. Okay, and with this diversity then comes vasanas and attachment. So bandhana, moksha, everything is now sitting on that. Okay, and this mind pervades over all the koshas that it precedes. That means Annamaya and Pranamaya, it can pervade over that. Is it clear? Okay. Then we'll go to the next one. Manomayo napi bhavet paratma. हि आद्यंतत्वात् आद्यंतवत्वात् परिणामी भावात् दुःखात्मकत्वात् विषयत्व हेतोः द्रष्टा हि दृश्यात्मतया न दृष्टः. Okay, so मनोमयः न अपि भवेत् परात्मा. So going again by how the Upanishad says that consider it to be Paramatma or Paratma, and very clearly because this Manomaya is Sankalpatma Vikalpatma Koshaha. Vikalpa is very clearly as the definition of this Manomaya Kosha. That means it can never be the same at all times. It is ever changing and hence it cannot be Paratma. Is that clear? Manomayaha Manomayaha न अपि भवेत् Paratma. It cannot be the Paramatma. It also cannot be the Paramatma. Indeed, Adi Antatvat. It has got a beginning and an end. It has an Adi and Antavatvat. Antavatvat is it has an end and it has a beginning. Is this part clear? It has got a beginning and end. How can you say that? The manas does not die, part of Sukshma Sharira. Yes or no? Where is the Anta for it? If it doesn't have an Anta, where is the Adi for it? I don't know, am I right or wrong?
Right.
आप लोग वीडियो चालू किए बोल के
During
फंस गए.
pralaya, the end is pralaya. No, moksha, sorry. Moksha.
What?
I think Pranaya, right? Because only Karana Sharira has gone down through Pranaya.
Okay.
Sukshma Sharira is through. Karana Sharira is for until we get moksha.
I didn't
Usually
get.
cannot hear you.
I'm not saying anything. I'm trying to hear you.
Oh,
I'm trying to listen.
I
What
said,
you are.
is it during moksha? The end is moksha.
When is the Adi? Okay, I will assume that what you say, moksha is the end. Okay, chalo. Where is the Adi?
I thought Manas since it's Sukshma Sharira, that during Pralaya to Pralaya, it's the Karana Sharira that we get moksha. During moksha, we don't have, the Karana Sharira is gone. It's
It's gone. What will happen to a person who gets moksha? A jnani. So, he will just evaporate in thin air if everything is gone. So, by what I understand is, let me imagine that there is a person today in front of me who is a mukta person. He has got moksha. So he will not have manas at all. He is alive, huh? Talking to me. He doesn't have manas. Why? Because he has got moksha.
Sir, Adi would be when Ahankar is there, I am. When I say I am, starts from there.
So when is the question?
So,
See, I said manas is a part of Sukshma Sharira.
yes.
Correct? So when the person dies, only Sthula Shariram separates with Sukshma Shariram. The Sukshma Shariram is not in a manifested form, it is in an unmanifested form in the Karana Shariram. Waiting for a body to get manifested. Correct? It is there. So you can't say Anta is happened. So death is also not Anta. Then Pralaya is what they are saying. Okay, if Pralaya everything goes to Karana Shariram, it is still not gone. It is still there in a Sukshma form. Sukshmat Sukshma form. So there is no Anta for it. Okay. If there is no Anta for it, where is the Adi? There is no Adi also for it. So this particular one is something wrong. The statement is wrong.
So it's when moksha, it's the fact that we negate it, right? We do not give it any value. Is that what it means? That manasa is no longer, it has the end, that it
So
is
it
no
is
longer
there.
given any value.
But
It is
still,
devalue.
but it is there. You may value it or you may not value it. It is like the cat closing the eyes and drinking milk and no one seeing it. It is the cat's problem, right? Others know very clearly the cat is drinking the milk. Others can see it. Are you able to get this?
Yes.
So there is no anta for it, there is no adi for it. That is the logical conclusion we have now. And what is Shankaracharya saying? He says, he Adyantavatvat, it has Adi and it has Anta. And this is a big problem now for us.
Sir, aren't we nothing but bundle of thoughts? Because that is what one denotes. It's a bundle of thoughts. We are made up of bundle of thoughts.
So,
Thoughts makes us. We are nothing but thoughts. That's it.
what do you want to say? So, does it have an Adi and Anta?
As far as my understanding goes, there will be Adi when I am in Ahankar and when I say I am. This is I am. So that is the beginning of it.
No.
That is where I say that here I exist. So this is me. So that's the beginning of it. The end is.
No. Completely wrong. Now, there's one tangent. Think about this. I hope you all have understood the question. The question is, Manas is a part of Sukshma Shariram. Even during death, the Sthula Shariram and Sukshma Shariram get separated. The body is burnt or destroyed or whatever. The Sukshma Shariram remains. And it will continuously happen throughout. Even during Pralayam, it is going to be as a part of Karana Shariram. In the next Srishti, it will come out as multiple Sukshma Sharirams. So in such a situation, what is Adi and Anta? Question number 1. Is this a correct analysis? Question number 2. If this is the correct analysis, then is this logic correct? And if this logic is correct, then Adi Shankara is wrong. Are you able to get this? Think on it. Are you able to hear me? Are you?
Yes, Guruji.
Yeah, okay. Okay, because my connectivity is just on and off, so I was not clear. Okay, fine. Think about this. You have 1 week's time. Okay. I know after this, once the book is closed, it will open only next Saturday. And I will remind you that this question was there. Okay. But where am I playing a game with you all? Or am I asking you to think the way I want you to think? Or am I leaving you open to think? The logic is correct, the logic is absolutely stupid, and come back. Okay. If you ask me, I put this hypothesis in front of you. It is for you all to prove that this hypothesis is right or wrong. Hi Anna, okay. Everything seems to be frozen for me here. I can't understand.
Yes, Guruji, we heard you.
Okay.
Yes, we have understood your question. We will come back with the answer next Saturday.
No problem. No problem. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Dhanyavadaha Shubharatri
धन्यवाद
I think so.
Hari Om Hari